All right, guys, Andrew with A-Team Adventures. Really glad to take you along. We're gonna try to catch some fish. Hopefully, we're gonna catch a few on a buzzbait. I don't know yet, but hopefully we'll catch a few on a buzzbait. The water's warming up. It's still springtime. There's probably a few fish spawning, but mostly pre-spawn. Water temperature was 67 degrees. We're going back in a pocket where it's fairly shallow water, and I expect the water to be warmer in the pocket than on the main lake. So hopefully we'll find, those seem to be key things for fishing a buzzbait, but hopefully we'll find a few fish, and if we don't, we're gonna move somewhere else in the lake and probably fish something other than a buzzbait. But boy, I love getting an early season topwater buzzbait bite, and it seems to be a pattern that I find that if you're really paying attention to it, you're going to find a early season buzzbait bite, and it might work for a whopper plopper, anything like that, but very slow moving and very shallow water seems like that's the place that they're going to come get it. So let's get to it. Let's see if we can catch a few fish. All right, guys, first bass, just a little baby, but it's a start. It's been, if you look at this, I'd guess this fish has been up here quite a while. It's all yellow and looks like it's got a real good tan, good color, and just something to observe. That means that fish has probably been up here quite some time, which makes me think, gosh, there should be more. We have just started fishing a buzzbait right now. I find that, boy, there is often, if you're paying attention to it, a heck of a buzzbait bite in the spring, and usually before everyone thinks there's a buzzbait bite. And I just have a ball with it. And I usually mess around with colors. I've got this one here with a black horny toad trailer, and then I have another one here with a swim bait trailer. I don't know if this one might be an Eco Pro, but basically a Kitech swim bait. And they were bumping this one, it seemed, quite a bit. And then, it's overcast and the water's clear, but they kind of were bumping it. So I swapped over to the other one, the black one, and they seem to take it a lot better. Really down their throat, they've got it. So you kind of want to mess with it. If you find them bumping one of them, it might still be a buzzbait bite, but it might be the wrong color. And then sometimes maybe it's not, but we've got emergent, or just about emergent weeds. So a buzzbait works good because you can just go over the surface. Now, talking about an early season buzzbait bite, something to note, it seems relatively important to be in very shallow water, a few feet, not much more than that. Later in the season, you can seem to, deepen that quite a bit. But in the beginning, it seems like 3 feet or less seems to be somewhat magical for me. Maybe if there's really weed growth, you could go a little deeper, 4 or 5. But boy, you're really pushing it at 5 feet. It seems like to me. It seems like that 3 foot or less is kind of magical, and it also seems like it's important to fish in places that are a lot warmer than the main lake. So a particular pocket way back where it's sometimes 5 to 10 degrees warmer than the main lake seems to be really important. Those fish move in there for a reason. They're in there to feed, and it's super skinny, so even though the water's still cooler, the fish will come up, they'll make that run because it's noticeably warmer, 5 to 10 degrees warmer in the pocket, and it's such skinny water, 3 feet or less. They don't have to go far to get it. It's coming overhead and they barely have to move and they can get it. And it does seem like they don't just clobber it. They kind of come in and suck it down. They don't, it's a little more timid. And sometimes I find that putting a trailer hook on the buzzbait is important this time of year. Now later in the season they seem to get it a little better, and then the trailer hook just fetches you up in the weeds more, and early season there are less weeds, so typically running a trailer hook isn't as big a deal in the early season, and it's nice because that's kind of when you need it most, at least from my observation. So that's kind of a tip. I probably should do a video for you guys, like in the garage, and just show you, okay, here's some of the buzz baits I use, here's some of the trailers I use, and you can experiment, fit one to your own needs. But I probably should do that. I mean, I do use, real quickly, a Kitech quite a bit behind it, and a horny toad. I tend to like black a lot and white. Those seem to be my main colors, but I will go with something a little more, you know, like the swim bait, a little more, you know, clear. If it's in really clear water, it just seems more natural. But I just experiment and see what the fish want. All right, we're gonna get after it and see if we can catch a few more. All right, guys. All right, guys. If we were making a pickerel catching video, we'd be rock stars right now. I think we're up to number 20 on pickerel and 1 bass. Ooh, but this one made me chuckle. Okay, look at the belly on this. Okay, you see how fat that belly is? He ate a mussel. I can feel it in there. It's a mussel in his belly. So that poor guy is gonna have some serious indigestion. But anyway, I wish we were catching bass, but it's still fun to catch these guys, and hopefully we find some more bass here. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we got a pretty good one here. That is a pretty good pickerel. So I just thought I'd show you, since it seems to be a pickerel kind of day. I figured I'd show you. That is a fatty right there. I mean, look at the size of that one. Jeez. For a pickerel, that's pretty good. Pike, they come a lot bigger, but this is just a pickerel. So anyway, we'll keep going. Kind of slippery. All right, guys, second bass of the day. I think we're up to about 33 pickerel and two bass. This one, I saw a few beds, so I slowed down and started making some casts around the beds, and that one came and got it. So there's definitely some spawning fish, or yeah, that one might even be post-spawn. It kind of looked like that. But we're going to keep working at it. We backed out just a little bit, and that's where we found beds right around here. So hopefully we're going to find a few more, and maybe some fish, you know, out a little farther maybe. So all right, let's keep at it. All right, guys, picked up a little baby bass, flipping a creature bait, just working a few trees and bushes. It's kind of a deeper bank. On it there's a more of a flat, and this is the deep side of it, and so just working down it a little bit to see if there's fish that are staging for spawning. So we'll see if we pick up a couple more. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we are just about to wrap it up. I'm going to probably hit one more spot, but if we encounter more of the same, we're probably going to catch a whole bunch more pickerel, and not much for bass. But if I find I'm on a whole bunch of them, I will bring you along. But I just kind of keep bouncing from spot to spot, hoping to put something together. The thing that we've discovered is we're catching a lot of pickerel, probably 40-something pickerel to 3 bass, and it still's been a bunch of fun. They're fun to catch, but we are looking for bass, and that's been a little more difficult. The baits that we've been catching them on are the buzzbait, 2 different buzzbaits, and then creature bait and a spinner bait. Those are the ones that are doing the work. Mostly the buzzbait. The pickerel seem to be shallow. The bass I'm catching are shallow too, but just not a lot of them. So I don't know, if I had more time, if I moved out a bit deeper, if I'd find some of them. But it's a little odd, just considering that the bass have been up shallower already. So it's a little odd, if they've maybe all moved back out. I'm not sure what would cause that. But we haven't really put that part together. We've eliminated a bunch of water. We've put together incredible pickerel catching water. But some days are like that. And if I had more time, I would just keep working at different things. We've tried some inlets. We've tried shallow bays. We've tried out a little farther, not extremely far, but out a little farther. So I would probably just continue to try different things, maybe flipping some trees, maybe, just keep mixing it up until you find a pattern. But we haven't, but I just figured I'd at least share that with you. Sometimes you swing and you miss. That happens. That's okay. You try to, learn something else and, and move on and put it together for the next time. And sometimes eliminating water is just as, not quite as helpful, but it is helpful all the same. So I think we've successfully eliminated some of this water, and we're going to work at it a little longer, but this is, probably about the wrap for the day. Really glad to take you along. And again, incredible time with the buzzbait catching pickerel, but not a lot of bass. Take care, guys. Well, not a bass, but a giant crappie. So I figured I'd share it with you anyway. We're outside of a pretty good bay, and it's a very narrow pinch point in here. Wow, we made a mess. Okay, there we go. This guy's pooping. That off. There we go. But look at the size of that thing. Goodness gracious. Put that in the live well. So, but we're outside of a bay and a super narrow pinch point, and I caught a little bass over here, so I thought, well, maybe I'll just back out just a little bit and see if somewhere out just outside of it we pick some more up. So we're working a jerk bait, and we'll see. All right, guys, another baby. This is pretty much the same size that we caught just outside the pocket, and so we just caught one just inside the pocket. So again, not what we're looking for, but it is a bass, so we're gonna keep at it.